Hello everybody. So today is a little bit of a different video, or a start of another video series, I guess. This is kind of a overview of what I'm working on here with the Robotech factory. My wife got me this for Christmas a couple of years ago, and she totally surprised me with this. I was just sharing that this is one of my holy grail kits, like the holy grail kit for me growing up. And I never had it in the past, but I just always wished I had had it. And I wanted to, just build this thing and make it shine. The Macross series is one of my favorite series of all time. And this kit in particular was one that I saw years ago when I was a teenager. I saw it in a KB at Midtown Plaza in Rochester, New York, and I didn't have any cash on me. When I got home to get some cash, went back to the store, it was gone. I had it in my hands back in the day, and I just did not get the ability to get it. And it was on clearance too, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Anyhow, so she got me this kit, and no, Darwin. She got me this kit a while ago, and I started doing little bits and pieces of it, mostly formulating what I wanted to do with this and make it my own. And as I got into it, I realized there were a bunch of improvements I wanted to make. A guy on YouTube at Steve the Fish, I think it is. His name's Greg. SteveTheFish.net. He has a YouTube channel. Go check it out. He has some great builds. And one of the things he started doing was building the my kit version of this guy here, the Armored Valkyrie. And he had these things that were like ball joints here. I'll move this out of the way. He got these a ball joint set. This is not the same one, but it inspired me to basically modify the kit so that it had better articulation, made it more posable, and just breathed new life into it. And one of the things he was talking about doing as well was getting these hands here. I got these hands, and they really do make a big difference. So I'm going to show you what I've got going on here. So these are the legs. I added these ball joint pieces in here, and in the main hip, I added the sockets. I cut off the extra length that is there. I don't know if you can see, but these the sockets have these extra pieces here that to fit inside of this hip joint, I had to cut those off. I embedded them into Aves Apoxie putty, and that allowed me to make sure that they locked in place and didn't move anywhere. So I did that to the hips, added the hands as a ball joint piece as well. So they have the socket part that matches the ball that goes in, that's in the hand here. And here, I'll show you on this one that's out of it right now. But it allows you to, hold on, I'm going to turn on the light so you guys can see this better. All right. There we go. Didn't realize I was casting that much of a shadow, but as you can see here, it's got this little ball joint here. I believe this one's a 3mm size. And it allows you to pop it into these different socket, to the socket here. So I embedded those into the forearm and was able to do that. One of the things I also did was I took the nasty head that was just, you know, really disproportionate and everything, and I replaced it with a 1/100 scale transforming version of the Valkyrie. This is the A model head, and I'm thinking I can put a different head on there depending on which ones I get, or I can maybe even model it up in the computer and make my own VF1J head. But this is the 1A model. It's not great. It's a lot better than the 1J that came in this kit, but I plan on adding a little styrene strip or frame around the eye area so that it has the right look to it overall. It's got some primer on it and a little bit of pre-shading right now, but this, as you can see, this ball joint allows me to add a lot more movement into the head. And it's got a socket in here, and then I added some styrene strip on either side here, and then just put more Aves putty around it, and then, you know, mounted it to the bottom here, and as you can see in the back as well. And that makes sure that this thing isn't going to move at any point in the future. And essentially, this is the kind of thing you want to do if you are putting in a ball joint socket, or, you know, the actual ball joint post. And, you know, by having the epoxy in here and bracing it and fully encasing the part, the ball socket or the ball joint, you know, ball piece, by encasing it in this, it allows you to make sure that the thing doesn't move at all. And when I seal this up, I'm going to have some more details that I'm going to probably scribe on, some extra detail on the top here. And I basically, this looks so much better than what it started looking like out of the box. The hands here, you'll see these hands that came in the kit were just really, for the time, they did a good job, but there's much better options out there that are more in scale too. Like if you see the size difference, this thing is so much closer to what it should be in proportion. On the feet, I also enhanced the feet by adding a little strip plate down in the bottom, painted that up so you can get a sense of how it looks when it's finished. But this allows me to hide the joint that was in here, and just makes it look so much cooler. And another thing I'm planning on doing is there's a couple more of these pieces in here. I 3D printed these plates here. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, these plates here will go on the back, so they fit like this, and it just adds a little more detail to the back surface where, you know, it's just a little plain, and it makes it look that much nicer. Another thing I'm planning on doing is adding these little, I don't know what else to call them, but they're basically like little minus sign details. They are on various parts of the design. These ones would go on the inside edge in the back here. So I'm planning on doing that. These ones here, I'm going to put these pieces in there. I'll grab another one so you can see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill this out and then drop this in place, and that'll allow me to get that as a 3D piece. instead of just a decal. I think it'll just make it look that much better. So that's that. I added strip plate. Okay, I'm back. Camera froze up. But anyways, I added this strip plate down in the bottom of the jet thrusters here. And then I'm probably going to add some more scribe line details and all that. And then, I also added more of that styrene strip plate here on the top of the backpack area here, which just enhances the detail, makes it look really cool. So that's, for the most part, all the modifications I'm doing on this. The gun is from a 1/100 scale changer set. And that fits in the hand on this guy here. So that's going to look really cool. So moving on to the Tomahawk that's in the kit. It's the guy with the giant guns for hands, like the 21 Pilots song. Anyways, got some other things that I'm doing on this one here. All right. So I already pre-shaded the arm here, and I'm planning on adding those little details on this piece here, because the hinge is right there. I'm probably going to just add photo etch, and I've got this set of photo etch here that has the minus signs in 3 different sizes. So I'm probably going to just cut out some of those and put them on the arm here to indicate that detail. That way it doesn't disturb the joint that's inside of there. I also cut out this little detail in here. And then one of the things I'm doing, I added the ball joints on this one as well, but it's a different design. So I put the ball piece on the hip itself, and then the sockets go in the legs. And like I was saying before, you know, I fully encased the parts in the epoxy and put them in this half, but when I go to put it together, you know, I wanted to have some epoxy over here as well, so I kind of preloaded that. And then when I'm all ready to button this up, I'll put these halves together, put a little more putty in there, and make sure that it stays in there and is locked in place. And that way it will keep the ball joints from moving at all. Another thing I'm planning on doing, and I've already made some parts to go in here, I added these little, I don't know if you can see here, if the camera will focus. But yeah, I add these, the guns with the little vent holes on the sides of the barrel. And then this will replace this gun here, this barrel. I'll cut that out and put these in place. And for the head, I cut out the head part here. And I'm going to make the visor that goes in there for the sensors and all that. I'm going to make that visor in clear. And I have, again, I made like little gun pieces for this as well that go on either side of the head piece. And then I'm going to add in a little cockpit inside of this so that the head can be in the forward position and you can see inside of the cockpit, which is going to look really cool. And then the other thing I've done to modify this kit is I cut out the searchlight. Hold on, my dog needs me to let him out. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, you know, I made this, I cut out this thick piece of plastic that was there for the visor, or the glass of the glass of the searchlight words. And then I printed this 3D piece here that is, hold on a second. So this will allow me to put in a little LED. And then this is going to be where the wires go. I'm probably going to have like a little surface mount LED in the back in here. I might cut the window out to be a little better for that piece, or I might just have this be the wires that go behind it. So this is just kind of a placeholder as I figure this out. But this part here, I modeled up in the computer, and it allows, you know, me to paint this. I'm going to paint this in the chrome finish, maybe use Molotov pen on this. And then that piece that was in here for the windshield, or the glass for this, was really thick. So if you guys wanted to modify your piece and cut that out, I just advise take a lot of time, be very patient as you're scribing through and trying to cut it out, and it'll eventually get out there. But it is a thick piece. Oh, here it is. So you can see here, this thing is really thick. So when you cut it out of the piece, it's going to take a while to get it out. So that's that on the two mechs. Another thing I'm doing is I'm modifying different details on the factory itself. And one of the things I'm doing is taking these little gantries, and I'm cutting out the little railings, so it just makes it look a little more in scale. Some of the railings on the stairwells are already cut out, but these ones here, they're not, so I kind of pre-drilled in the corners. I'm planning on cutting out the rest of them like I did here on the back section. And then there's this one here that's already assembled. Then I got to do this to the other one. After I glued it together, I realized I really didn't like the look of how it was when they were solid like this. So I planned on cutting them out, and already I can tell it's just going to make it look that much neater, make it more in scale. Another thing I'm doing is I'm planning on lighting this. So the pieces here have, you know, these support arms had little lights on them, and so I designed these lights that go inside of this round hole here, and I'm going to print these in clear so that it'll make it so that I can put the lights behind that and light it up in phases, or just have them all lit. I'm not sure which. But that's going to look really nice when this is all done as well. Then I'm also lighting up on the base of it. It's got these little spotlights at the that are on the base, and you know, they're going to all be drilled out. I already pre-drilled this one, and it looks amazing. It shines up onto the mech when it's standing there, and it just looks phenomenal. I'm going to probably build a ceiling for this whole display, so and it'll have lights shining down as well, and it's just going to look really cool. And same thing for the back piece here. I cut out the back doors. I'm probably going to have one that's posed in a semi-open position with like a black fabric background or something to make it look like it's opening out into space. And then I've got these, again, it comes with solid parts, but I'm going to, this is a 3D print of one. I'm going to cast it up or print it up in 3D clear, and that's going to look really nice as well, and have the lights shine behind this also. So that's pretty much what I've got going on this. It's a lot. It's an ambitious... one more thing is the vehicles that are in the factory here. I designed, or not design, but I plan on cutting out the windscreens or the view screens on this thing. I need more coffee. I'm mixing up my words. But instead of having these solid areas for the windows, I decided to cut them out. And it looks really nice when it's all together. Same thing for the front windshield and the backs. So the idea is that I'm going to put a little bit of an interior in here, and it just will look that much neater than having this solid window that I have to paint. It's just going to take away the scale effect of it all. Oh, and one other really cool feature that it's just a small improvement, but it makes all the difference in the world. Dspiae makes this joint strengthening pen, and this thing is amazing. It took the feet, which were originally nice and loose and dangly and everything, and using this pen for the joint in there, it really stiffened it up and makes for a nice smooth movement between the pen and putting the little plate in the bottom there that helps hold it in place and keeps it nice and tight. That really made all the difference in the world, and this thing is going to pose up really nicely. It just stays where you want it to be, and it's just has that nice stiff quality that you want to be able to pose it. It's not too stiff, but it makes a big difference. But this joint strengthening pen is amazing. You just kind of tap it on the surface of whatever you wanted to prime the pen with. It's kind of like a Molotov pen or another, like a paint pen, but it has this like milky substance on it. I'm guessing it's like a latex or something of that nature. Dries clear, but you leave it dry for about 10 minutes or so. And when it's done, it just kind of creates a nice resistance to the joint that you're trying to stiffen up. And it just works great. Totally recommend getting this. It's out of stock in a lot of places, but my favorite place to get these types of supplies from is Mecca Warehouse. They're great guys. Check them out. They've got a great store. I don't know when that's coming back in stock, but keep your eyes open. It's available in a lot of different places, but right now it's just sold out in most places. But so anyhow, that joint pen is going to stiffen up the this little lift here for the vehicles to have a little basket that you put the people in, and they can work on the mechs at various heights and stuff. So that pen will help stiffen that up so it's nice and stays where you want it to. It doesn't loosen up. But that's the idea with all of that. So that's that on what I've got going on for this guy. Another thing I'm working on, I'm still editing the video for the build of my YF-29 from Bandai. It's a great kit. It's just, I wanted to try and speed it up so it's not a lot of boring parts to it. Watching me build it and in real time just can be a little anticlimactic. So one of the things I wanted to show you quickly though is, this is the stand that came with the kit. It's okay. It's adequate. It gets the job done, but it's not great. What I did find are these kits that Bandai makes as well. It's a base that has a stand on it as well, but it was just a little too short. So I took an aluminum tube that fit very nicely, cut the original plastic support in half, and then glued the different halves of that support inside of this aluminum tube. And that allows me to get that extra height that I need for when I have it in fighter mode, in robot mode, or in the Gerwalk mode. So, that's, if you need something that has a little more visual interest and you want something that has a little more height to it, this worked out really well. I polished up the aluminum and it looks great. When I paint this up, it's gonna just be awesome. So that's where I'm at on that. And then lastly, I wanted to show y'all this part here. It's from Dream Model. And these are photo etch pieces with a paper display as well as a film that goes in the display console here for the VF1 for Bandai's kit, or sorry, for Hasegawa's 1/72nd scale kit. And this thing has really nice details for the sidewalls, for the side controllers, as well as the display panel, the seat belts for the seat, and the control stick. So this, I'd really recommend finding this. I got this off of eBay. I don't know where else you can get it, but it just makes the parts that much nicer. They have them where it's just the regular photo etch piece, and then there's ones where it's painted. This one already came pre-painted, and it just looks really nice. I'm trying to see if I can get this to focus here. There you go. But it's got the little transform panel here if you wanted to add that onto the side over there. This is going to look really nice in your models. Totally recommend this. For whatever reason, the Hasegawa kit, they have photo etch parts, but theirs do not include these kinds of details. So I highly recommend this set here, and it's not that expensive. So that is pretty much it for what I've got going on for my Macross models at the moment. I am also working on taking the old Emai kits that are also that Bandai has in the past made, that transform the old 1/72nd scale ones from way back in the day, and doing some modifications to those. And one of the things I did was I cut out the light areas, which I'll probably fill it with UV resin. For the armament, for the missile pods, I put in little magnets in here and then have magnets for the other parts. I designed these parts here to replace the leg attachment area because this was originally just in styrene. This is now an SLS material that has a lot better strength properties. So this shouldn't break when you transforming it and putting it in different modes. And then I also added magnets that help hold the front half and the back half of these parts here, so that when you go to transform it and you go to put it back together, it just kind of snaps in place, and it really makes it just a nice, satisfying assembly. I don't know if you can see in here, but I've got magnets on the inside of this part here, as well as one magnet over on this side here. Inside, I put 2 magnets in there because it's hidden behind the support pylons, the glue joints, and it's really not in the way of anything, but this just makes it that much slicker. And these magnets for the missile pods works wonderful as well. And what I'm planning on doing here is taking, making the Skull Squadron after Hikaru took over the squadron. So he's going to be in Skull 1. And then Max and Miria's planes, or Milia, as it's known in Japan, take those guys and make them as well. And then for Max's plane, I have a VF-1D that I'm going to take the nose section for that and build that up for Max's Max and Miria's wedding plane, and that'll have the 2-seat option for that one. So that's pretty much what I got going on. And hopefully next time you see a video posted, it will be the YF-29 build-up. After that, I plan on tearing that down, painting it up, and enhancing some of the details by mainly replacing the cockpit. And I think that'll be a nice little add-on for that. So anyhow, thanks for stopping by, and if you like what you see, hit the like button and subscribe for watching more content. All right, thanks. I'll see y'all later.